I'm Lauren Whitehurst. I'm a certified personal trainer and certified nutrition coach.
Hi, I'm Sunny Lippincott. I'm a certified professional life coach and a certified brain health professional.
We also have Angela Salyers, who is a licensed professional counselor, and the three of us together make up
Whole Life Vitality.
We teach whole life vitality of the mind, body, and soul, bringing the physical, emotional, and spiritual together for whole life wellness.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome back.
So good to be at the WLV.
Oh, nice.
I know.
I like that.
Thanks.
That just like pop into your head?
Just came to me.
Very nice. Very nice. What are we talking about today, Sunny?
Okay, so just recently, I was asked to speak to a fourth grade class. And I love doing that. I love speaking to kids about like mindset tips and things. And but she asked for time management.
Okay.
And I thought, oh wow, like it's okay. I
How
wouldn't
amazing
have
is
thought
that?
to do that for fourth graders.
To teach a bunch of 10-year-olds, 9 and 10-year-olds.
Yes.
Time management.
Time
Can you
management.
imagine having learned that skill as a child?
I'm still learning that skill.
Right? That's
as
amazing.
a 40-year-old. So I
Just
was
a little
like,
more experience.
Yeah. So I was like, sure. And it got me to kind of researching what, really good ways to teach it to kids. And what I, came across was, wow, this is really applicable to adults.
Because we're just overgrown children.
Yeah. And children
Yeah.
are just tiny humans.
Absolutely.
So it goes both ways.
Yep.
So I wanted to talk today about brain dumping. Not to be confused with brain dumbing. Because when I first brought this to Lauren, she literally said, what?
My jaw just kind of hit the floor, and I was like, okay, I know that generally you have really good ideas, but brain dumbing, this seems kind of counterintuitive. Like, what is happening here?
So listen, as a brain health professional, I am never on board with brain dumbing. Okay.
Not trying to dumb your brain down, trying to elevate it.
Brain dumping.
Dumping. Not dumping, not just for fourth graders.
Yeah, dumping, not just for
Dumping.
fourth graders. So brain dumping.
Yes.
So what we did, I passed out a sheet of paper and I told him, I said, I want you to write down everything that you have on your to-do list.
Oh my.
And
What do fourth graders have on their to-do list?
yeah, well, I kind of got some looks. And so I was like, okay, maybe to-do list isn't, entirely applicable for, 9
grader.
and 10-year-olds. So I was like, okay. Think about your day.
Yeah.
What do you have to do today? Like, I want you to write out what you have to do. What chores do you have at home? Do you have any projects coming up?
Yeah.
Do you have book reading that you need to do? Things like that. All of this stuff.
My kids have a must-do list and then a can-do list.
Yes.
So then, to keep their priorities straight.
Well, that's what that's the whole point. I said it's in your head. And when things stay in our head, they feel really, really overwhelming.
Oh, yeah.
And I know my husband is an entrepreneur, so he has, multiple businesses. And it's real easy for him to feel that weight of overload because, he's getting pulled in a lot of different directions.
I feel that.
Yeah, we all do. And I said, it's such a good reminder to know that you're not what you're feeling.
Yes.
You are not what you're thinking.
Yep.
So I said, when it's up there, it feels really jumbled. Like it's like there's not, and you hear this all the time. If I just had more time. We all have the same 24-hour period.
That's true.
Okay. But there are people that are running this country that have the same 24-hour period as those of us who are just trying to get ourselves in motion, right?
Yep.
So the thing is, it's not more time. Because what I found is whenever you're given more of something, you still have the problems. They're just on a different scale.
That's true. Can I just be devil's advocate just for 1 second, though, and say, I don't think that the people that are running our country are raising toddlers or teenagers.
Well, have you watched any political,
You're like, come on, they're all toddlers.
I think they're all toddlers, but that's not what this podcast is. We'll leave that for the other people. No hate mail, okay? But that is true. Like, we're all at different stages, okay? Right. So here's the deal. We all have different to-do lists. They all feel heavy inside of our bodies.
Yes.
Though. So and if you, fact check me on this. If you actually do studies about journaling, journaling your feelings, it's amazing what they have, the healing that has happened with people that have started journaling. They've actually shown that the people who journal receive better results than the people that take, medication for stress and anxiety.
Yep.
It's amazing.
And you know what? There are no negative side effects
to journaling. No, there's not.
Oh my goodness.
There's not.
You know that laundry list of side effects that you listen to at the end of the commercial for the medication, and you're like, oh my gosh, do I actually want to put that on my body? Journaling?
Truth.
No negative side. It may cause impromptu happiness.
Yes. But no diarrhea. Okay.
No diarrhea. No acid, no heartburn, no indigestion.
Upset stomach. So you get it all out. So you write, brain dumping is you are getting out everything that's in your head. So you might have a list full of things. Well, the next step is like what you said. We're going to break it down because not everything on your list is a must do in that moment. You don't have 42 must do's in that moment.
It might feel like it.
Yes.
But I promise you don't actually.
You don't. So break it down. What is the must do of that day? I must get these done. If there's an asteroid headed to Earth, these 3 things must be done. Okay. And then what is the do later? What can you do later?
And later this afternoon or tomorrow or next week or whenever. Maybe you can put a time limit on it and say, put a deadline on different things.
Yes. And then what's when I have time. So if I get through the must-dos and then, I've looked over here and, in this list and do later. If I have time, what are the things that if you have time? And then what's the next list that's just I can push that off.
Yeah.
I can push that off.
And we have that. I mean, my refrigerator really needs to be cleaned out, but it is on the I can put that off indefinitely list. So it'll become higher on that priority when it starts to smell funny. I'm just saying.
But you got it out of your head.
Yeah.
And that's what's important, getting it out of your head. And so, as school has started, my son came to me today and this morning before he left for school, and he's like, I've got a project to do already.
It is the second week of school.
He's got a science project.
Whose teacher do we need to talk to here? I'm just saying.
Here's the deal. I said, when is it due? And he's got time. Okay. She's giving them lots of time to do this project. But she's giving them incentives that you get 10 points added to, an assignment if you get it done early. So you get it done by this time, but you'll get, an incentive if you get it done early. So if you manage your time well.
Is she teaching time management?
I'm telling you.
I love this.
I told Trey, I said, we can take this project and we can break it down into these things, into these categories.
Yep, little steps.
And it's so important. It feels heavy in his body. So for him to come to me and say, I've got a project.
Right.
But if we can take it and say, okay, this is when it's due. So let's break it down. What can we do now? Well, we can research now what we want to do.
Yeah.
What do we want to do? We'll research that. And then we'll just kind of brainstorm. So that's a must do, and then the later I said, we'll must do, we'll research it, decide what we're going to do, and then make a list of what we need.
Yep.
Then it's getting the stuff later and then, putting it together. So, when we have time, we'll start working on it, putting it together and put the date. It's due at this point, So how long do we have? If we have a little time, then, this we can wait on. This we can wait on. It's manageable when you get it out of your head. So getting it out of your head. And, I was telling this to my mom, who is a bookkeeper, and she's like, I need that. I said, well, take it. I was like, show me your list. And she had this really long list. And I said, not all of that has to be done today.
No.
It doesn't. So break it down. Yeah. So brain dumping, truly, it is magical. It is magical for all of us every day. And don't use the same list that you've used every day. And this is part of my morning routine. Write down what you have to do that day. Write a new list. What do I have to do that day? Write it down. And then take from that list, take the 3 things, just take 3 things. And these are, they must be done today. These 3 things. And then kind of categorize it and then mark it out. Your brain loves when you mark something off because it feels accomplished. And when you feel accomplished, when your brain sees that you have done and completed a task, it gives you the gift of motivation.
That's amazing.
Yes. Do you know that you're not born with motivation? You cultivate it.
It's something you have to learn.
Yeah. It's something that you actually have to cultivate, to make.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So you don't just tap in and be like, hey, brain, send me some motivation. No, you got to do something. You got to work for motivation.
Okay.
But you do that and your brain rewards you with the gift of feeling motivated. And it kind of gives you this push and hey, that's awesome. Great job.
Yep.
Do it. Do some more. Do it again.
What does your kitchen look like when the trash needs to be taken out or hasn't been taken out in a week?
The Leaning Tower of Pisa.
What about a month? If you let the trash build up for a month, this is what you're doing inside your brain.
Absolutely.
So when you're doing this brain dump, it is, yes, you're prioritizing what's important. You're making your lists and you're getting things laid out almost in categories, but you can just do an unload basically.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I sit down with my paper and anything that comes to my mind, I write out.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yes.
Because it's like taking out the trash. And it doesn't matter if it makes sense. It doesn't matter if I'm like, I don't feel like writing this. I don't feel like writing this.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Whatever it is that I'm thinking, I write down because I'm taking out the trash.
Absolutely. Emotions. Truly. Yep. Whatever is up there.
Yep.
Getting it out, brain dumping your feelings. Huge.
And then you get to the end and not only have you cleaned out the trash, but now you have space to address the priorities that you've set in doing this process.
Absolutely. Brain dumping.
It makes a huge difference.
Huge.
And I would encourage you, if you have children, to get them to do the same.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just make a little chart, cross it out, make a little 4 little quadrants and let them brain dump and then put these into the quadrants, It's great with chores too. You can do that with chores, but start teaching them how to brain dump when they feel overwhelmed. We all do.
We all do. It happens to everybody.
When your friends, family members, they feel overwhelmed. Listen, write it all out. If your spouse comes to you and oh my gosh, I've got so much, there's not enough hours in the day.
Yep.
Hey, let me help you. Let me write, just tell me what you need to do. I'll write it out. Just tell me what you need to do. Start listing it off and get it all out. And you look over it. All right, let's break this down. What can we do right now?
Yep.
It's huge.
I will tell you, as someone with ADHD, if I write things down, if I get to the point in my process where I need to write things down and I need to make a list of things that I need to do, once I've written it down, my brain thinks I did it.
Yeah.
So what I do for myself is I do that brain dump where I write everything down and then I just sit there for a minute and I kind of mentally go over what those 3 things are that I want to address that day.
Yeah.
And I don't write those things down until I've done them. Otherwise, my brain just checks it off. It's like, oh, look, you wrote it down. We're done. And I legitimately forget about it.
That's a really good point for our ADHD listeners.
Yeah. Yep. So figure out your process. The brain dump is good for everyone. No matter what your phase of life, no matter what your emotional or mental capacity is, the brain dump is good for everyone. But then find the thing that works for you. Is it writing it down? Is it making a big, beautiful picture? Is it telling someone else what you're going to do? Is it just thinking about it? What works for you? And we'd love to hear.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you do?
Yes.
And what do you prioritize? What's important to you?
You'll make time for that.
We always do. You know exactly what's important to people when you see what they do every day.
Absolutely. Ouch.
I know it's a hard one, but I can tell you, it's very eye-opening.
It is.
Especially when you start looking at yourself.
Oh.
You're like, ooh, what am I making time
That's
for?
when it's the most eye-opening.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Sunny. We have something for you, friends. We created a Whole Life Vitality Journal. Yes. You can go on Amazon and you can get yourself this beautiful journal. I wish I had it in my hands right now, but I do not. But don't you worry. Go to Amazon and look up Whole Life Vitality. And we are there. Yeah. And our journal is there. You can also, if you look up Sunny Lippincott, then you can find her book and our journal. They will both pop up. And get yourself doing your daily brain dump.
Listen, I love journals. I can't have too many of them.
Oh my goodness.
But this will just be your brain dumping journal.
Yep.
I mean, it's awesome. It's beautiful. And that way you have no excuses.
There are little motivational quotes in there. We have paperback. We have hardcover. Just pick the one that suits your needs and get to dumping.
Yeah. We got you.
We got you. Oh, friends, thank you so much for showing up today and hanging out with us. We would love to hear from you if you have any suggestions or thoughts on stuff you'd like to talk about. Yep.
Send us a message.
For sure. If you're looking to get coaching, to receive coaching, you can find us on social media, any platform, really, Whole Life Vitality and at wholelifevitality.com.
Yes.
And reach out because we are here to help.
Absolutely.
Yep. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, friends.